All right, number one. All right, so both of y'all, David, Sean, top five most poorly rated or underrated things. Go
So like,
for it.
yeah, what's rated the least accurately? So the most underrated or the most overrated, right? Just so I have it
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So like, yeah, we could have 5 underrated things, 5 overrated things. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want me to
Why don't you
start?
start? Yeah.
All right. All right. So mine aren't in any specific order, but my number one thing is overrated, very overrated, I believe, and it is all home security systems and home security in general. So basically, all right. So say you were going to the airport, right, and you were coming to visit me, and you were halfway to the airport, and you noticed that you left your door unlocked at home. You'd probably turn around and lock it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. I never lock my door. And
I would probably call
what
somebody to do it, but yeah.
fair enough, fair enough. But like, what are the chances though that during the weekend that you're coming to visit me and your door being unlocked, that some guy breaks in and steals all your like silverware and like your TV and like I think that people live by like the fear of what if, what if, what if. It's so rare. It's one of the most overrated things as far as how much it's used. How much do you
Mm-hmm.
actually need? I've never locked my door. I lived in my house for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, I have locked my door, but like, it's just not something that I obsess over. When I come home, I got to put the code back in, and sometimes that's too annoying. I just leave it unlocked. Like, it's just crazy how much home security is so valued, and it's just a peace of mind thing. When the reality of something actually happening, somebody busting in. First of all, if they want to get in your house when you're gone, they could easily get in, break a window. Like they could easily get in,
Different
but
when you have to break a window than walk through the front door. But I get your point. I mean, it's very rare. Like another thing, you usually leave your keys in your car. Very rare.
always,
You've only
yeah.
had your car stolen one time. You know what I mean? So like it almost never
I did.
happens.
I did have my car
True
stolen one
story.
time.
Yeah.
True story, yeah.
And that was the same
And
logic.
yeah, I mean, and honestly, like that car, I guess it wasn't like it wasn't the greatest car. It was at the end of its road, but I guess that isn't really part of the logic. The logic is it wouldn't get stolen. I can't believe it got stolen that one time. And honestly, I ended up getting it back. I like went out that night and like everyone's like, "You should be looking for your car. You should be looking for your car." And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then like 2 days later, the cops like, "Hey, we found this car like abandoned on the side of the road in Philly." Like maybe part of it is I think one of my greatest strengths is the ability not to worry about things that have a low percentage of happening. And I think a lot of people spend a lot too much time, overrated amount of time on things that have a low percentage of happening, and it's a waste of brain energy. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But just with people's obsession with like locking the door and just it's that peace of mind, it's that feeling. And then there's alarm systems and all that stuff and all the security. It's a great industry as far as business, and what they're selling fear, and the amount that you need it versus the amount that you pay is incredibly overrated.
The peace of mind is important though, because like if you I mean, for you, you're able to not think about it. But if somebody leaves their house open all day, like somebody could be in the house when they get home. You know what I mean? Like you could go to bed. You have to check every room if you're like paranoid about it. So you know what's a great alternative is like the Ring doorbells, which we have. So then if somebody comes in, you like see them. You can see it happening. So it's only like
Yeah.
$150 or something. It's pretty
Is that like a
awesome.
one-time fee?
Hmm. You have to pay like I think $2 a month for like cloud storage space if you want to be able to access the video, like for more than a day. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
if you have an incident
Okay.
that
Okay.
happens, you have a day to view it. After a day, it disappears. But it's super cheap to keep that going. I may be wrong on the price, but it's something like that. But it's
Okay.
great. Like you can tell when packages are delivered. You can tell when we had somebody whose dog kept shitting in our yard, and like I was able to find out who it was and catch them because of the camera. So
Okay. I mean, I like the
yeah.
camera at the door. That has other value besides security. But in general, the amount of time Americans spend worrying about security versus the reality of how much it's worth is that's my spectrum of overratedness.
Okay. I had something sort of similar.
Okay.
Overratedness being, I won't say, but it was privacy. Um, is like
That's
overrated.
that's similar but different because are you probably talking web? Is okay? So is that your turn? Is that what you're going with?
Now I won't go with that one. Maybe we
All
can
right, save
hit it
it.
later. Um,
Okay.
so I will go with I'll go with an underrated. Something underrated is water. Like by far the most. I think water is probably my favorite
What?
beverage. So many people are like, oh, I hate water. I hate drinking water. It's so boring. I only want to drink iced tea or soda or Gatorade or something. And I couldn't disagree more. I think water is the most refreshing. Obviously, it's like the healthiest. It's pure, but it's
Yeah.
the most refreshing in any situation. If I'm thirsty or exhausted and I need something to drink, if you gave me any drink in the entire world, I would go with water. 10 times out of 10. And
Yeah.
people always
Cold
hate on it so
water.
much. People always hate on it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, obviously everyone understands that you needed to live. I would say it's
Right.
properly rated, but you're
No.
saying as a go-to drink.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
It's
'Cause
underrated.
I agree. People don't go to it as like a go-to drink.
Ever. People hate on it all the time.
mean, if they're thirsty, after they work out, they definitely want water.
They want
But
like Gatorade or like a sports drink or something like that. Completely different. Gatorade makes my spit like syrup. Nothing like I hear people hate on water so much. Like, oh, I hate are the best drink. So
Have you ever tried Propel water? Like,
awful. I hate it. I hate flavored water. Flavored water, I would say,
I agree.
is amongst
Brandon,
the
I
grossest
feel like
things.
I feel like you're somebody who doesn't drink water that much and goes with other drinks.
I do actually. I love water. It's from sports, from doing football. It's like our our reward after exercise was water. So I learned to love water.
But I always see you drinking like soda and like other types of drinks.
Nah, I always have water.
Oh, fair enough. You
There you
got me
go.
right
Look at
there
that.
with
Also,
showing
it's
the
evidence.
water. Yeah,
I love that.
That's evidence right there. All
But
right,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, I buy the argument. I think it's properly rated, but all right, I accept water as a drink. Oh yeah, and you ever have liquid IVs?
No.
You know what that is?
Liquid, like
Joe Rogan
saline?
talked about it, right?
Like
It's,
actually get
so what
IVs.
No, what it is a little packet, like if you do make Crystal a light iced tea, it's the same packet, but it's called Liquid IV, and Shelby swears by it as far as it's a hydration. It just it maximizes the hydration. So like you're drinking at night and you don't want to hang over the next morning, if you down a Liquid IV and you just cup of water, pour the Liquid IV in, drink the water, and it makes it taste good too.
It's like electrolytes.
It maximizes the hydration. And Shelby, my beautiful
Swears
wife,
by it.
swears by it. We have like 100 bags of them at our house.
I think I'm like one of the most hydrated guys in the country. I drink so much water and like almost only ever drink water. I don't drink.
How do
like,
you
water and
consume
coffee?
That's very healthy.
How do you consume your water? Big water bottle? Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I probably drink like I don't know, between 6 and 10 of these a day.
Dang.
A lot of water. I
Okay.
pee a lot, but
It's
it's
good.
like when I
It's
don't.
very healthy.
If I'm dehydrated, I feel like shit if I don't.
It's very healthy. I need to get back on doing that. Actually,
Water from the
drinking more water.
fridge or water from like a filtered pitcher or
Brita.
Yeah. Okay. That's
And
all
I can
got.
do. My wife and I have done like blind taste tests to like rank waters, smart water versus Fiji, and there's like a distinct difference between
Yeah.
a lot of them. I also recently learned that like the water that's like completely filtered distilled water that basically they like get rid of all the minerals, like you're losing a lot when you do that. So if you have there's like I forget what it's called, some brand of water that like just claims it's just pure water. That's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah. It doesn't have the
So.
minerals in it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My next one. Something that is incredibly underrated. And it is the scooter sharing apps like Lime, Bird, and Spin. Do you know about those?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have them in Philly?
Yeah.
Okay. Those, when I went to Charlotte for a weekend, me and Shelby had the most incredible weekend. And the main reason, when I look back on the trip, the main thing I remember was we just took those things everywhere. So for people who don't know, you get an app on your phone, you go up, you're at like a bar, a popular place, you scan the scooter, and then it says, all right, go ahead. And then you just drive, and then you leave it wherever you want to leave it. And then you scan a picture. It charges you like $8 or something like that. Obviously, if you go farther, it charges you more. But it is an incredible experience, and it goes really fast. Like me and Shelby took it like across town, and it was such a fun experience because it felt like we were walking. We got the outside vibe. We got the experimental, journeyman, like traveling vibe, and we were going fast, and we got to cover a lot of ground. You can have a few drinks and go on them. It is such a great way to go around the city. There's no Uber. There's no awkward Uber driver traffic. It's just a great way to get around. And I wish they had one in Charleston, and I'm surprised that they're not more popular. You ever
I
have
actually
drive
don't
them
think-
before?
I actually don't think that they have it in Philly. I was
They
I don't
don't
know
have
why I
them in a
said
lot of
yes.
cities. They don't
Right.
have them in a lot of cities.
I wonder
which
if it
is-
would work. Like Philly's a super congested city. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Philadelphia, it's a lot packed into like a little bit, especially like the center city, South Philly, Old City area. So like everyone's on top of each other. There's not a whole lot of like open.
Well, I first learned about it in New York. They have them in New York.
Okay.
Granted, it was Hoboken when I was in New
I was
York,
gonna s-
where
Okay.
they had
So that's
'em.
not New York. That
Right,
would be more
right.
like Conchi. You know what I mean?
Right,
I know
but in
it's
like
bigger than Conshohocken,
In
but-
Fishtown and Philly
Mhm.
or somewhere like that.
They might
Now,
have it.
it would make no sense for them to have it in like Norristown or like
Yeah.
a suburbia. They would have to have it in a city, but it's underrated as far as you want to get somewhere that's too far to walk, and you're having like a fun day. Like it is fun. It is
Mhm.
very awesome to drive, and it's actually not just fun. It's convenient as far as transportation. No
I
traffic.
wonder how many
no
people
red
use
lights.
it.
It's
Like,
so great.
I wonder how many like residents of said city use it, or if it's just for like tourists, people exploring and having fun. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like in theory it's convenient, but it's probably expensive.
I mean, I would.
If you're
it's as
relying
much
on
as it's as much as an Uber. Now,
Okay.
right? If you take Uber every day, that might be a little inefficient, but they are great. The only problem is if you use it for work every day and you want to pick up groceries on the way home, or if you have
Right.
a briefcase, it's not good for a backpack would work. But if you're carrying stuff, and as far as like safety, I mean, yeah, you gotta be on your game. I mean, you get on it, you hit the little go button, you kick your foot to get a little speed, and then you hit go, and that thing goes, man. It probably goes like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 25, 30 miles per hour. It is very fun. It's very efficient, and it made my trip to Charlotte the most fun trip ever. And I just wish that they had them more places,
Everywhere.
like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. It's a great way to get around. It makes less traffic, less congestion, and I see only positives from it. And I don't know why
Is
more
there-
cities don't allow it.
Well,
Is-
thought. What were you gonna say, David?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, thought maybe they don't want to have more scooters because it takes away from the cars business and transportation like that.
I mean, there's some reasons the cities aren't accepting them, because I know these companies. The companies are called. There's three main competitors: Lime, Bird, and Spin. And whenever you go to like a spot where they have them, like you see all the three different color ones,
Mhm.
and I'm sure they have like different deals where they're trying to like kind of like DoorDash and Uber Eats. They're trying to get your business, but these are good companies, and they want to go in every city. And the reason why they can't get into every city is different reasons in every city. Like governments, like they either it's a safety issue or maybe something like that, as far as
Or
they
like a
had their
taxi union.
transportation down. Yeah,
I know,
taxi
like,
union.
Do
It's
they?
public transportation.
Is there any like training safety thing at all, or do you just pay and you get it?
Is there a waiver?
No. Yeah, like I
No.
think you like when it's an app. It's an app on your phone.
Yeah,
So I'm
okay.
pretty
So
sure
there's, like,
I'm
you
pretty sure you
agree
click
to something.
accept. Yeah, you agree that, if I die, it's my fault. But they like
If
I
they
was
go fast and
actually
you have to drive them on the road. I feel like there should be a little
See,
bit more.
No, they're on the sidewalk.
Oh, they're the sidewalk.
It's like it's
Okay.
honestly maybe that's a part of the problem with the governments is like the lack of regulation or the lack of rules. You can
Right.
drive on the road, you can drive on the sidewalk. It's kind of a free for all.
Mhm.
But I always thought of Charlotte as a normal city, and then I went there for a weekend and just had the most amazing experience because I got to explore it with this. And yeah, we were kind of weaving in and out, depending on how much traffic there was. Like we'd be on the road or back on the sidewalk. But you can go down little alleyways where you can't in a car. It just really opens up your exploration, and
Mhm.
they're so cool. And I think about it every time I'm walking in a city, how much underrated that they are.
Right. It's a good one. Yeah, I've always been very intrigued, but it's a good one. All right.
All right.
So I have something overrated. I've been on this platform for like my whole life, but and there's a distinction here. Being on the beach, like going to the beach, I think is like maybe the most overrated thing in the world. I love being at the beach. Don't like to be on the beach because there's not a whole lot there. It doesn't offer much. Like it's uncomfortable. It's hot. It's boring. There's nothing to do unless you're there with like a big group. And even then, like you throw the football, you go into the water for a bit, but people seem content to stay on the beach and just lay around all day long from like 10 o'clock to 6. And it's just so, I'll never understand it. It's so boring. There's nothing to do. And people seem like they just lay there. The only time anyone can just lay in one spot with nothing to do for the entire day. And like for me, I get sunburned. It's sandy. Sand gets everywhere. Like you have to lug all your shit back. You get your like sandals are, it's just, I like to be at the beach now, 6 p.m. and on, go home back to the hotel or the house, shower, and like go out, and it's, you know, beach weather. That's amazing. I love that. But being on the beach, I think, is the most overrated thing in the world.
Yeah, dude, I like it. I'm with you. I do think that like human beings have some natural, like unexplainable love for the nature of the beach. Just something about being near the ocean and on the sand.
The
But
sound too.
and if I would never go. I live at the beach. I live in Charleston. I live near the beach. I've lived here for 5 years. I never ever go. Like I guess I work a lot, but like also, if it was like me, you, Shelby, and Lauren, I would be
We
much
definitely
more
would
likely to go. Because I mean, me and you could throw the football. If it's just right, it's mostly girls. I feel like that just want to lay there. If you just want to lay around, you could just lay around at home. Now they're going to argue they want to get a tan. They're going to argue that they want to get the sun.
Does the sun not shine at the sun only shines at the beach? Also about the beach, like I'm all for the nature and everything, but that you kind of get that. Like it's not like I go to the beach now and I'm blown away by the power of the ocean after like a couple of minutes.
Right.
Also,
It's very uncomfortable too. I like how you said it's
also
uncomfortable.
crowded.
Incredibly,
a lot of times.
it's
Like, you
just-
can, like fat, like just like people everywhere, and there's like people eating, and there's like a hot dog here, and people are like walking all over you, and it's just like
Seagulls.
people people are on top of you, and like they're walking and kicking sand on your towel, and then like the guy's like smoking a cigar a couple of towels away, which again, I'll add this on top: cigars way overrated.
Oh my god, I couldn't agree
cigars.
more. I could not agree more.
I've only ever smoked a cigar like if I was trying to be cool or like fit in, you know, like trying to have a good time with the boys. But
Anyone who says they like
Yeah.
cigars is lying.
lying, I could
They're
not agree more.
absolutely lying. Like that's
What's the
so
point?
impractical. It's like,
Yeah.
like
So I should have made
dick.
that one, but yeah,
that's a good one though. Yeah, dude. I mean, I agree. Uncomfortable, overrated. Cool to go, and I like going to the beach at night,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just like. Because I feel like at night it's a little more like adventurous, and you're not there
Spooky.
for like the day. Yeah, you're not
Sand's
there
cool.
because
Mhm.
I agree when people bring a cooler, some towels, and they're just there from like 8 to like 3, and it's all day, and you're like, okay, what are we doing here? And like,
Can we go home and have lunch and then find something fun to do?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Didn't we?
yeah.
Like, aren't we done? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with that one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, back to me.
Yep.
All right, my number 3 overrated is fortune cookies. Fortune
Okay.
cookies.
I disagree. Hard disagree.
Fortune cookies. You okay? Right. So people like fortune cookies. Why do people like fortune cookies? First of all,
Novelty.
they are the worst cookie. If they didn't have the message inside, they would never sell. Imagine you go to the store, you got Chips Ahoy, you got Oreos, and then you got this
And fortune
shitty
cookies, yeah.
cookie. It's so bad as far as the taste. It's not a cookie. It's like a wafer. It's like a cracker. It's
Not that
it's
bad.
terribly
You could have
it's,
good ones,
it's
for
terrible
sure.
tasting. Terrible tasting. I used to be excited about fortune cookies like everyone else, and now every time I get Chinese food, I just throw them out. Now, the cool part about them is the little fortune in there, right? So they're not fortunes. What they are is basically random, sporadic. What are the 12 symbols? Leo, Cancer. What are they called? The signs.
Zodiac,
Yeah,
astrology.
Zodiac signs. They're just zodiac signs. So I pulled up like a few here. A beautiful, smart,
Horoscope.
and loving
Yeah, that's what- yeah, horoscope.
a beautiful, smart, and loving person will be coming into your life. A dubious friend, maybe an enemy in camouflage. A faithful friend is a strong defense. A feather in the hand is better than a bird in the air.
Yeah, all true. Do you-
okay, a
are you
feather in the
expect-
hand.
Are you
better
expecting
than
a
a bird in the air?
fortune like specific to you in your life? Because that would be unbelievable. That would be. But until technology can
Turn
do
down
that-
your Facebook ads, $5, something like that.
Right.
I mean, they're just overrated. They're novelty. I love Chinese food, and I don't
love
care about
Chinese
the fortune cookie. I used to care about the fortune cookie. That part of the experience, I just throw them out now. They're just generic, randomized, novelty zodiac signs that aren't even your sign. At least in the zodiac signs, at least you can pick your own. And the cookie is terrible. I'd much rather have them put a little like cosmic brownie in there or something that's actually a good dessert.
But it's
I mean,
like
if I'm already eating Chinese food, I don't need the dessert.
They also have the lucky numbers
overrated
on the back too.
Lucky numbers.
Right. Need those.
If you want to play the lottery, yeah.
Like
that's how everyone wins the lottery. And also,
of course.
I will say, like, I disagree. I think they're. Yeah, I mean, they're not.
What do you like about them?
It's just like the novelty. It's like fun to like get excited about them. And I don't think
that's why it's over. That's why it's over. That's why it's overrated.
Because I don't think people are like clamoring for them. I don't think that there's like a huge contingency of people that love fortune cookies. I think it's like, oh, we had Chinese food here. Let's eat this cardboard and like pretend like these are real.
I
will say, we did get Chinese food a couple weeks ago, and it was like an advertisement. It said like,
ooh,
don't forget to pick some takeout. Pick up some takeout. Did you remember to pick up takeout? It reminded me of A Christmas Story when Ralphie posts the message. Be sure to drink your
more
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine. Yeah.
That's basically what it was. That I was pissed about.
I like that better. I like that better because they're at least like fucking with the idea of like, yeah, you're gonna read this. Like, let's put an ad on here.
But they are really not like fortunes usually. They're like you said, horoscope, like messages that you want to believe about yourself. You know,
they're
like,
generic comments that anyone can interpret in their own.
Everything will go your way this week, or you will run into something that changes. Yeah.
Okay, what does this one mean though? A feather in the hand is better than a bird in the air.
It's like you know that expression.
A feather
like
if
you have something in your hand, if you have $1 in your hand, and like the potential to make 5 over there, but it's flying around, you have to catch it. Like, all right,
okay,
this is worth more.
A
bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Is another way of saying that, right?
Okay, it's a good explanation. Again, yeah, I mean generic stuff. A fresh start will put you on your way, but fortune cookies overrated.
Yeah. All right. So I'll say underrated. So underrated. This is probably maybe an unpopular opinion. Phone calls versus text messages. I think that a well-placed phone call is extremely underrated. It never happens these days. And like, sure, texting's great. I got no problem with texting. But everyone always hates on phone calls. Like, our generation hates talking on the phone, or like, if I'm going to order pizza, I need to do it on the app. That takes way longer. If you're ordering pizza on the app, call it.
I was with you. I was with you when you were talking about a well-placed phone call to a friend.
Yeah. That's
unexpected. But ordering pizza is way better on the app.
No, it's not. It's
way harder. Crazy?
Are you kidding? How is it? How is it? How?
Because first of all, they give you the menu, so you know what the options are. And if you want if you want, you ever use the Domino's app? You ever use the Domino's app?
Domino's is trash. No.
Who uses
it's incredible,
Domino's?
And it tracks all the way it's there.
But there's like sometimes where I try to use an app and like you can't do half pepperoni, you have to do a full pepperoni, or you can't make customizations, you can't order well done. There's all these, and like it takes 5 minutes to do it on your phone, right? Where it takes 30 seconds to call somebody. I won't be convinced.
He's right that way.
I won't be convinced that it's that's easier. Maybe you don't like talking to people, maybe you don't feel like calling. That's fine, but it's not easier. That's absolutely not true. But what the point of this is like you said, like a phone call to a friend. Like if you want to catch up with somebody or just shoot the shit for 30 minutes or whatever it is, if you're on a walk and doing something, people never do it anymore. And it is, I think, a lost art.
Especially now that it's more special now. It's kind of like writing someone a letter now, even though that used to be the way to communicate.
I had that down next to it. Yep.
Yeah, but now it's like writing a letter because it's so unexpected. I mean, I understand the argument, and I'm probably with that argument that it's like almost rude to call somebody sometimes. Like, I don't really believe that. I don't believe that, but like, I understand it because I don't know. It's just like, you don't know what I'm doing. I mean, but that used to be the only option we had.
Then don't answer.
Right. Then it's like, I didn't answer. Like,
texting has disrupted everything so much. Like,
yeah,
I don't love that you're always in touch with people, always in touch, and like always know what, like back in, it wasn't that long ago where like you had plans, you meet, like, let's meet at this place at 6 p.m. Like you got to meet there at 6 p.m. You know, you're not going to text them 5:30, be like, hey, plans fell through or whatever.
Yeah, but what's cool about that? What if there's traffic and you're 15 minutes late and all your friends leave?
Do you have to know what everyone's
doing? You just text them and be like, yo,
of the day?
I mean, for convenience in that water fountain situation, you can text your friends and be like, yo, I'm so sorry, 15 minutes late traffic. And then you don't miss out on the whole day. I was on a cruise ship
The whole day.
and we didn't have. I was on a cruise ship and I was with my aunt, my uncle, my two cousins, my mom, my brother, and we didn't have internet for whatever reason. Like none of us had phones, and we spent one entire day of a 3-day cruise looking for my uncle. We tried calling the room to see if he went back to the room.
Yeah.
Like
And, I mean, your uncle had an awesome
I'm
time.
just like, no, we couldn't find him, so we were like looking for him the whole damn time.
But your uncle probably had a blast.
Yeah,
Bro, he was looking for us. He was looking for us.
Was there a casino on the boat?
You
I
think he
bet
got
he was
lost on
not
purpose?
looking.
You think he got lost on
Yes.
purpose?
Yes. I don't think that's a crazy thing to think. Seriously, like
He could
why
easily just be like, I'm gonna go off on my own.
back in the day, like that was what you did. Like you got lost, or like we get home from school and go play, and like all right, when the lights.
I
come on or
like
something,
that part. I like the
You just
adventurous mindset of
always
it.
knowing where everyone is and what everyone's up to at every minute of
I
the
don't
day.
know.
It's
I don't know
weird.
where everyone in my phone is all the time. It
No,
depends.
but like Shelby, even like Shelby, your close friends and family, a lot. It's Shelby's different because you work with her, but like everyone's always in touch, and this is a completely different argument or conversation, but it seems like a lot. So a phone call is nice. You catch up, you actually have an anecdote, and you talk to somebody. It's not a disjointed text conversation. Things don't get lost in translation. You can make jokes. I think that it's underrated because everyone hates phone calls.
I buy the phone call. Unplanned phone call to a friend is underrated, but overall, I don't agree that phone calls, like texting's better overall. It's more efficient. But I buy that part of it. All right.
Disagree.
All right. My next one is something that is underrated. And I know we've talked about this before, but bidets. So I have bidets in all the toilets at my house. For people who don't know, a bidet is a little thing you put on your toilet, and when you poop, it just sprays water into your butt and cleans your butt. When you were at my house, you said you loved my bidets, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Like,
It's great.
did you ever get one for your house?
No,
Why not?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question.
That's why it is incredibly underrated. Everyone's always like, "Oh, bidets are awesome. Yeah, I should get one of those." Like, yeah, you should. Here's the link. You get $25. It's just. I don't. Why does everyone do that? Why does everyone?
It's like a nice luxury. I don't know that like it would lose its appeal.
It's not a
lose its
luxury.
whimsy.
It's not
It
a
is.
luxury. It is a
You still have to wipe your butt afterwards.
practical. It's practical. It is. It's
still
like
wipe your butt
is a
after?
is a dishwasher a luxury?
Yeah,
Is
you
a
have to wipe your
microwave a
butt
lu-
to
is-
dry in the water, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a quick pat, and you don't have to, but it's a quick pat as opposed to like the whole thing. And like, oh my god, people who don't use it, their butts are so dirty. All you dirty butters out
No.
there.
Everyone always
It
says
gets
that.
it gets the whole thing. It gets and it's very
How
efficient.
bad
It's
are you
very clean.
at wiping? If you're like you're thinking your butt's so dirty. Like
I
you're
mean,
super
it
bad
just
at
doesn't get
wiping?
as much. It just doesn't get as much. It doesn't get all up in there.
The thing
I don't
about
want
so
it
the-
to get all up in there. Like,
Why not?
It is.
You don't
it
you don't
is
want a
nice.
clean
Like,
butt?
You do feel cleaner, but it like it's messier because like it power washes your butt basically. So like
Yeah.
little pieces of poop go on that thing. So
They
I
go
was
in the
at
toilet.
and they also go that thing's in the toilet. So if you don't think there's pieces of poop on the bidet, you're crazy. You're lying to yourself because your bidet was different than most. It wasn't like a true bidet. It was like a attachment in a toilet, and it's great.
Right.
I like the way it worked, but it definitely has poop on it. So that's kind
Okay, but toilets have poop on it.
yeah, I know. It's just
So
I
like,
don't know
so
why
you got to
I
clean
don't
it
know why I
anytime
didn't
you
get
clean your toilet. That's the
Mhm.
thing. So many people that I've talked to, they say I love it. I should get one, and I'm like, and they never do. No one ever. It's something that nobody ever follows through on. They like the idea of it, but they don't think it's like an attainable thing that they can have. But you can easily have it. I installed it, Mr. Handyman. I installed it on all my toilets.
Well, I would never. I would have to pay somebody to do that. But they would. I equate it to like you go to the beach, you rent like a Jeep Wrangler or something. But I wouldn't want to own a Jeep Wrangler. It's just like it's
But that's not what it's like. It's not a
To me,
cool
that's
thing.
what
It's
it is.
actually a practical
My-
thing.
my life is fine. Like it was nice, but so is toilet paper. I like toilet paper as well.
What the hell do you like about toilet paper? You have to pay for it. You have to replace it. You have to flush it down. It could get clogged. You have to put more waste into the world.
It's not far. Okay, the waste thing. Okay,
Imagine
I mean,
how much we could change the environment if everyone got bidets.
if everyone just got bidets, you still be.
It's a relatively
using
good
more water.
argument. I mean,
I had,
which one's worse?
yeah, I mean, you're right. There's no reason to not get it. It's just it seems
Underrated.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think your answer is satisfactory to me, but it proves my point of how underrated they are.
There is no satisfactory answer. I didn't write my thesis on why I don't have a
Buy
bidet,
just
but
buy
it's-
one right now.
Okay.
Like I don't want it that bad. I'm not that in love with it. I think like part of it is people being polite too. But all right, overrated. Let's see. So I'll say Will Smith is like
Oh, really?
there's a couple people,
Overrated?
yeah, I think Will Smith is so overrated. I think that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is super overrated. I don't think it's that good at all. And I can't think of a single movie that he was in where I thought that I like loved. Not one.
Wild
Maybe
Wild
Men in Black.
West.
Awful. Hated it. Even as a kid, I remember thinking like, this is stupid.
Wild Wild West.
He actually does have
Terrible
a lot
movies.
of movies that aren't that good.
They're all B
He's not
movies.
funny.
They're all B movies, but like
But he's
Oh no, I know.
regarded as-
Good. Bad Boys. Bad Boys is good. That's his best movies. Bad
Okay.
Boys with Martin Lawrence, 1, 2.
Mhm.
Those are good, right? You like those? I think
Yeah.
that's his best movie.
I just
think that's his best
watched
movie. 'Cause
Gemini
he's-
Man recently.
Yeah, I kind of started watching some of that, and I couldn't. It was
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, that's true. He does have a lot of bad movies.
And he does like. Why is he so beloved? Why is he so famous? People
Fresh
regard him as like
Prince.
Fresh Prince wasn't that good. It's looked at fondly because of like nostalgia and like it was entertaining, but like it wasn't that good. The theme song was great.
It was a little corny, kind of like
I didn't love
Friends. Any sitcom's a little corny if you
I-
really break it down.
Like I
With, like,
just
with
personally
canned
didn't love
laughter.
Fresh Prince. Right.
I mean,
it
I
just-
love
it
Fresh
wasn't-
Prince.
Mhm.
He's just
I think that
beloved for some
It starts that
reason. Like,
for no reason.
Which
It's
is why
weird.
it's
He's really
overrated.
weird. Isn't he
What other good-
Scientologist? Or he
What
was?
other good movie? What other good movies is he in? Like Bad Boys
People
is
say
good.
like The Pursuit of Happiness or I Am
I love
Legend. These
that.
movies are all okay.
was it like 7
Stupid.
pounds? Did you watch that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Not like
Wild
I
Wild
never
West.
I've never been
Men in Black.
satisfied with
Bad
hit with him.
Boys.
compared to what other people think. I always think his rap, he didn't even write his own music, like just corny. And
I used to love his rap, but also I was in 5th grade and he didn't
Summer,
curse.
Yeah, if you love getting jiggy with it,
summertime.
then you love like
just
Nas.
the
Nas
just
wrote
the
Getting
just
Jiggy
the
With It.
just the two of us. I have every single lyric and syllable memorized. I don't know why. It's just like the first song I ever wrote down and memorized. I agree. I
Yeah.
love Will Smith.
He was an action star too, like the 90s, early.
What
like, he's in-
movies? Name the movies.
like Wild Wild West, like
Yeah,
Men in
movies,
Black.
Brandon loves Wild Wild West apparently.
It was. I
I
was a
thought
kid. That was my
garbage.
favorite movie.
I actually hate. You know the name of the genre of Wild Wild West?
Spaghetti
Science
No,
Western.
it's like steampunk.
Steampunk, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I
like,
hate
Mad Max.
steampunk. I hate steampunk. I hate steampunk. There's this restaurant near me that's like a steampunk restaurant.
Mhm.
It's such a weird. It's like past and present combined into like it's like
Yeah.
a robot that's a cowboy or something.
Mhm.
It's I don't like steampunk. Steampunk's stupid.
Yeah, he's
I feel like we might be missing like one big hit of Will Smith's movie or something. But
Time to Google.
in the meantime, I'll also say Johnny Depp is like incredibly overrated. I don't
Oh
understand the hype there.
no, we can't go there. No,
Seriously,
no,
I
no.
mean,
defend him,
what's
Brandon.
Blow was good.
Blow
I
was good.
mean, Pirates of the Caribbean is like one of the greatest like just
I-
series of movies. Like,
Eh.
I could be convinced.
Sorry. Pirates of the
lukewarm on
Caribbean,
those.
whatever. Yeah, it's
Right.
whatever.
he killed.
Did you watch
Willy
the one
Wonka.
when he was a butcher? Like Johnny Depp was. I'm trying to remember. It was like a musical.
Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney
Edward,
Todd, did you watch
Edward
that one?
Scissorhands.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. The thing.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
overrated.
Will Smith
None
was
of
in,
those.
Will Smith was in Ali, in Hitch, Hancock.
Okay.
Hancock
was like regarded as like the worst movie ever.
You're kind of
all of
proving
these
your
movies-
point here.
Yeah,
6
suck.
Degrees of
I Am Legend.
Separation.
I Am Legend was good.
Yeah,
I Am
that
Legend
was
was good.
probably my favorite Will Smith movie,
I Am Legend was really
and it's good because it's just basically
Wait,
him.
wait, guys! Independence Day. I mean, that's
Oh,
huge.
that's a
That's
big
huge.
one. That's a big
Yeah.
one that we forgot about. That's the one.
Overrated.
That's the one I knew. Independence Day is incredible.
Overrated,
Independence
but
Day. I
sure.
mean, I'm with you with.
It's
I'm with
okay.
you with Will. I'm with you with Will Smith being overrated, but Independence Day. Come on,
think
that is
It's
epic.
it's fine.
That's his
Independence Day is
best
fine.
movie.
It's a good
That's
movie.
his best movie. That's his best movie.
But he's like so one note. He plays the same guy in all of these movies. You know, like the sarcastic
Yeah.
hot shot. I just think he's overrated.
I mean, yeah. Tough to argue. Tough to argue.
I mean, it's
And
a hot.
he
take.
has-
It's a hot.
I like how recently he's done like a couple he's been like vlogging. He did like the Drake dance like
So
on top
corny.
of like a bridge or something like that. That was kind of cool. I like
He's a weird
I like
dude.
how he does stuff with his son. I like how he did a movie with Jaden.
Oh, did you know
That-
that his son came out and he's like with Tyler the Creator? Did you hear about that one?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Jaden,
Jaden came out as gay. and
Jaden's
then-
gay.
and he apparently had a fling
What?
with Tyler the Creator.
I think Will Smith and Jada have like an open relationship.
open
and
marriage.
like the rumors are that he like sleeps with dudes, and they're like very like sexually open, which
It's just
is
a weird
obviously
family.
fine.
Yeah, weird family.
Meanwhile,
But-
they don't curse. Meanwhile, he doesn't.
Yeah,
curse.
right, exactly. I got
Alright,
the cigar. I don't light it. I just bite it. Like, dude, so
Here's
corny.
something-
I don't like cigars. You know that how I feel about cigars, but just don't mention it. It's so corny.
I
Here's
don't light it.
something-
It's for the look.
Here's something I can brag about. Like, I don't know much about my dad's side, but when I was little, they always told me my grandma knew Will Smith's mom. So that's all. Like, I can just tell
Alright.
people that. And that's
Was your family from Philly? Is that why you're an Eagles
yeah,
fan?
West Philadelphia. Like, my grandma
What
went to high
nice.
school with Wilt Chamberlain and all that.
Wow, that's
On
pretty
the
cool.
playground? Did you spend most of your days on the playground?
I will say that the theme song for Fresh Prince is awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
never got into the show very much, but all right.
Okay. Yeah, Will Smith, Johnny Depp, overrated. All right, I had a few like honorable mentions.
This is your last one, right?
This is my last one, number 5, and it's something that curious your opinion on, and I say it's overrated, and I say it is retirement. Now, retirement is a financial term. Retirement means it's like you get your 401k, you put money aside when you work from 25 to 65, and then when you're 65, you can retire, meaning that you have money for the rest of your life. Well, depending on
Mhm.
how long you live, all that. But it is, the word is a financial services term. And it is something that yeah, like I just explained, that's how society's kind of like set up. It's how people, they think of when I retire. It's like so there's the financial term, but then there's also like the mindset of it, and that's the part the mindset. Like, you're going to be only 65 years old, and you're going to stop providing value to the world and sit back and just reap the benefits. I think it is a formula for unhappiness at such a young age of 65. And I really mean that. Like, 65 is young. And I don't think that we should teach kids in school that you go to school, then you go to college, then you get a job, then you retire, and you live your dreams. Like, it's one of those
That
things
sounds so terrible. Who wants to do that? Who wants to reap the rewards of all their hard work? And like,
Well,
just spend
that's
their
the problem,
twilight
is-
years with
is-
their family.
that's the problem. Is it reaping your rewards? Is it sitting around doing nothing all day, rewarding?
Well, I think you have a weird like idea of what retirement is. I don't think you just sit around all day and like don't do
What do you
anything.
do?
Like, some people like play golf, some people volunteer, some people get other jobs. I think it's more so like if
Now-
you're like, what?
I was gonna say nowadays a lot of them Uber. A lot of people who retire they Uber.
That, why the fuck would you choose to Uber?
Yeah, that's
They
that
say they
sounds
want to
like
get
they
out
would
of
suck.
house. They want to get out
But
of
like
house.
go move down to Florida, play golf, and like spend your time with your family. That sounds amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I understand wanting to continue to provide value as an entrepreneur. That's great, but a lot of people want to like bust their ass when they can retire and just like do whatever they want with their time. Then why not do it?
Yeah.
I don't understand the like the.
This
the
might be
hate
like
there.
this might be like one of our fundamental differences is like
Mm-hmm.
I hate relaxing. I don't want to be just normal.
Well, that's
and
what you would.
relax and do nothing.
So that's
Like,
what
I
you choose
wanna-
to do with your time. But like, I think it's
Right.
weird to like be upset with somebody's choice about how they like want to spend.
I
their
just
time.
I just want everyone to be happy, and I think that there's a possibility that some people they have this thing off in the future where I'm gonna be happy when I get there. I'm gonna be happy when this happens, and all of a sudden it's 7 days in, and they think there's supposed to be some magic pill that's like, now I'm happy. And no, happiness is crafted throughout life. Just because you're retired doesn't mean you're now fulfilled with everything of your life, especially if you're not like providing value. Like, human beings, happiness is a complex thing, and it's different for everybody. But
Right.
I think a lot of people think that retirement's going to do it for them, and that's kind of what we're taught maybe as kids in public school. And I think it's a overrated concept.
I think by the time you get to retirement age, by the time you've like to retire, you have to have been successful enough to like accumulate wealth and be able to live comfortably. And by that point, you're gonna know what makes you happy. You're not gonna retire and just like sit on your ass if that's not what you want to do. I think the idea of retirement is like you have the freedom to do whatever you want. You have the freedom of like choices to do anything. You want to travel, if you want to work, if you want to do this or that, whatever. It's different for everybody, but I don't disparage anybody for continuing to work and work until they're 100. I understand that makes a lot of people happy. I also know that a lot of people want to go down and move to Florida, chill by the pool, and like spend time with their family and just chill. I got no problem either way.
Hell yeah.
Fair. I mean, I guess in this case it might be overrated. Like
For
from my
you,
perspective, for me, I
like
guess
you
yeah.
wouldn't do that as retirement, but
No,
like
I never want to retire.
sure.
And
But, like, it's
so many
weird.
people- It's
I
like
think it gets
it's like
weird to,
a
like-
it's a society. Not every person has to accept that path of society. Like,
Of course,
and I feel like that's what they. I feel like it's kind of what they teach you in school, which I think we talked about, just like how school teaches you, like
factory
to be
worker, 9 to
be an
5.
employee. Right. So
I
that's
mean,
kind of the overrated piece of it. And at the
Sure.
end of that 9 to 5 factory life, the glory at the end is retirement, and that is kind of that public education crafting of the narrative of your life. Is the end of it is the sunshine of retirement. That's the part I think is overrated. I think everyone
Sure.
needs to craft it in their own way.
But nobody like is forcing people to retire. I also think that like you have a different perspective because you like own your business and you like that's what you enjoy doing most. A lot of
Yeah.
people like are counting the days until they retire. You know,
That
like I've talked to
sucks,
so many people. I know,
yeah.
of course, that sucks, but like obviously, whatever they're doing is making them
Right.
unhappy. So
Right.
reaching the end of that and figuring something else out, that's fine.
Right.
Um,
And that's
yeah,
weird how and that's when it comes to be when they're counting the days. That's when it's like a
Mhm.
financial term because like they need it to
Right.
mature their
pension or
their-
something. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
I think it's overrated, but
I get it. All right, cool. So I'll say last thing, we're approaching it. Overrated New Year's Eve is like the most overrated, by far most overrated day of the year. Bars are way crowded, expensive cover charges. You can't get to the bar to get a drink. What are you celebrating? It's like an arbitrary thing. I'm fine if you have like a New Year's Eve party, but I just don't get the hype. I think it's everyone's so
the ball dropping, bro. The ball dropping.
I think a lot of people are going to
Stupid.
celebrate this year. So
right, and that's fine. But then guess what? You wake up the next day and it's
we
January
still got,
1st. You have
we
a
still got
terrible
Corona.
hangover and Corona's still here. Like I just think I've always thought New Year's Eve was like just so overrated. I don't understand the huge hoopla. I think it just makes like life more difficult for a day. It might sound like a curmudgeon, but like I'm sorry. I don't get
I'm
it.
with you. The last couple of years on New Year's, I like barely stayed up for the ball.
Stupid.
But,
Yeah.
but when I'm a kid and a partying age, back in my day
Sure.
when I was a kid,
Gives you an excuse, yeah.
yeah, it's just like an excuse to party, but also like anytime's an excuse to party. So like,
That's true.
yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's properly rated.
It's always like everyone has to
But I-
go
but I
out
hear
and get
ya.
dressed up
But I
and
hear
go to a club or a bar or like Xfinity Live, and you can't
Yeah.
get to the bar, and you're just standing there packed in with a bunch of sweaty guys around you. Like, what are we doing here? Why didn't we just stay home and drink and like have fun? We feel like we have to go out and get dressed up and spend all this money to go stand around with a bunch of strangers who like nobody's having fun, nobody's really doing it, and then Happy New Year, everyone screams, everyone tries to get an Uber, you don't get home till 3 o'clock. It's just such like a fabricated stupid thing.
Yeah. It is funny going out and like standing around a bunch of people like, hey, can I get a drink? Can I get a drink over here? And like
What?
trying to get it. And,
What?
Like, yeah.
Drink over, and you're 4 deep.
Oh, you like that? You like this song? I like this song.
Yeah.
I like this song. Yeah.
I
And, like,
hate it. Like nightclubs would be along the same lines, but New Year's Eve is like the worst of it because everyone's out and it's so crowded. You know what I
But
mean?
the obvious caveat to anything with going out is if you're single, it's a different perspective than if
Sure.
you're with somebody.
That's true.
It brings a whole different
Even
light to it.
yeah, even then, like go to a regular bar, not on New Year's. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's gonna
Yeah.
meet somebody on
Me
New.
and
I don't know.
me and you, we started dating our current wives right about a year before. Yeah, whatever, around approximately before Tinder, before Tinder or any. I like think that is the very, very efficient way to date.
Totally agree.
Like
Tinder?
it's, I wish, yeah. Like I don't know, whatever app.
We don't know anything
is
about
popular.
it. Yeah.
Like I never used it. I
It's a
never
hookup app.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, whatever app. is the app that's hot to meet girls. It's absolutely use it. Very efficient. It's just like if you go to a
It's
bar.
different though. It's really different
I mean,
having to meet girls that way because like you meet them.
it's different.
It kind of started with us because we could like
Facebook
in
for
like
y'all,
high
right?
school before Facebook, like instant messenger.
MySpace.
Right.
Like that was big for us. Like middle school, you could like talk to girls, like
Yeah. I guess
without- and
before
then
that
you-
it was the phone.
but then you would see that right. The phone was even a little bit like you have to have more cojones. Anyone can be behind
Yeah.
a computer and like be Mr. Cool. You know what I mean? Then you see him and you're like, oh, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But like meeting girls, meeting strangers at a bar or something, it was completely different.
I remember I had this plan in 6th grade to ask one of my friends to ask out this girl for me. And we didn't know our schedule because it was the first day of the second semester. And I said, if I'm in the same class with her, don't ask her out because I'm going to be too scared to see her.
Right.
But if we are
For
in
sure.
different classes, I want you to ask her out.
You want a
for me.
girlfriend.
So,
Mhm.
so then I don't have to see her. And I was like, if I can see her, no. If I can see her, because I was just too embarrassed to see her.
You want the girlfriend, but you don't want to. You're terrified to say
I just
hello.
don't want to see her. I just don't want to see her.
Mhm. It's weird at that
So
age. Like
silly.
your girlfriend is like the person that you want to spend the least amount of time with. It seems like you have
Yeah.
a crush on them, but you wanted, well,
And
nothing
then
to
like
do
you
with
walk by
talking
with
to
like you walk by with your binder in your hand and you both wave and then like kind of speed past.
Oh,
see him down the
yeah.
hallway.
Like, that's so
see him-
weird. That's
I
so
did that.
weird. That's
high
so
school in
weird
general
that I
is
did
really
that.
weird. High
I mean,
school's weird.
that was definitely not high school for me. That was
I
middle
know,
school.
but I'm like, all right. So middle school, I meant more like because Lauren and I drove past Plymouth White Marsh today. On
Yeah,
the way
that's
to
my high
daughter's
school.
doctor's appointment, and they have that like walkway that connects the two.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's like it's such a foreign world to think about now. But there's like 1,500 kids that you're in the same building with all day, every day for like your entire life. It's such like a little ecosystem and like community.
Yeah, right.
you
It's
don't
big
really ever
enough.
get
It's
anywhere.
big enough. It's big enough
Mhm.
that you're not,
You
know,
don't know
on top
everyone.
of each other. You don't know every
Mhm.
single person. But like, yeah,
But it's like you do
passing
the
by
same thing every day. You pass the same people every day. You
and
chill.
like, yes,
mhm.
that's a
Meet at
big
the
part
same-
of
mhm.
knowing who you're gonna pass by like during the certain periods.
I'll
is
take
always
this
a
route.
so-
I
a
want to take this
social
route because
element.
I want to see this person. So I'll
And
go
then the
downstairs
person will be like, "Oh, I know they took that route." Like, yeah, it's fun, man. I like that. I like that
Me too.
social like what's the word, like
Environment.
freeway or like social free for all. It's fun, man. High school's fun, and so is college. College is that on like another level spread out. It's like a
Mhm.
campus.
Oh, yeah.
more choices.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I had a couple honorable mentions. We don't have to
Me
talk
too.
about them, but I
Me
had
too.
underrated Family Guy, this podcast, Monograms, overrated. I had stand up comedy, Cash, putting business advertisements on your car. I hate when people do that.
I don't think that's
um,
overrated though. I don't think anyone
Yes,
likes that.
it's not overrated. I just think it's ridiculous. If you drive by a car and it says like the real estate name and number
Yeah.
like on their door,
There's a couple
and
of
then
those. that I
we won't get into this one, but I put pets. But like we won't. we
What
won't get
pets?
into that.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I said
that's a
they're
big one.
overrated, but
I get that. I've heard that argument before. Like, I can understand it, but if you don't have a pet, or if you're not like a dog person, then like there's no convincing you otherwise. You know what I mean? All right. So I had some too. Overrated. The Mona Lisa. What's the story there? Why have you? I mean, it's not like an amazing painting. way better paintings than that. Drake. Way
Drake?
overrated.
no, I
Yeah,
think Drake's like properly rated.
I think. No, I think I just don't like his music. So, and he's corny. Iced coffee, I think, is very overrated. Let's see, underrated. I said privacy. Wikipedia, I think, is super underrated. It's now like considered a reputable source. Like most colleges consider.
I
that
always
'cause it's-
thought it was.
right, but most people like a university wouldn't have. Now it's like
Yeah,
considered. There's like citations,
yeah.
but it's dude. Wikipedia is amazing. That's like
I agree.
It's like everything about everyone.
Yeah.
Silence, I think, is underrated. Like I like to listen to a podcast, but if you're gonna
Dude, I was thinking about that today. Like, I was up to like 4 a.m. last night printing. I was by myself, and then I came home, and then I got dressed this morning by myself, and like I had the phone on the whole time, listening to like nothing, like
Mhm.
a YouTube of Conan O'Brien or something. Like, why can't I just be there in silence? Like,
It's underrated. It's nice. If you ever meditate, that's like
I mean, I
helps.
do meditate. I meditate 3, 4, 5 days a week. And that is like the only 10 minutes of like silence for me. I usually, if I'm focusing in, I put on YouTube, I put on like focus noise and I put that in, but that's not silence, I guess. And that's like what I
Right.
listen to when I'm like working. That's what I have on it most of the time. If I'm just doing like data entry, I'll listen to like a podcast or something.
sure. But yeah, also like a good stretch. Like if you
Yes,
like
I
wake up,
stretch.
you're like,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Not like I don't mean like a 15-minute like you're doing your legs, your back. I just mean one of these is always good. Staying in a hotel, watching TV with like closed captioning. People hate on that. It's the only way to do it.
Closed captioning is the shit.
My brother does
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then campfire. It smells good. It's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, not bad.
You ready
All
for
right.
question 2?
This has been overrated, underrated. All right, we have some good ones though. We have some good ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard a better podcast in your entire life? Take that, Joe Rogan. Best podcast you've ever heard. Get more podcasts right here and subscribe to the show too while you're at it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Honestly, I love you.